Over there, a glass case of awards. Over here, framed gold and platinum records. There are displays of costumes, guitars, and even his iconic vintage granny glasses.
It's John Denver. We grew up with this music, and there's something about him that just makes us feel good.
The John Denver exhibit at the Woody Guthrie Center covers it all, from his time as a kid in Oklahoma.
Whenever Dad had to leave back to his farm in Oklahoma, his family's farm, and my mother's family in Tulsa.
And his teenage years in North Texas, to his successful music career and humanitarian efforts.
While he was a musician, he was so much more than that. He used his music as a way of speaking for the disenfranchised, of speaking up for those who are suffering, those who were hungry.
Denver's causes involved fighting poverty, the African AIDS epidemic, and was an early advocate for conservation.
It's so apparent how much he appreciates the earth and all that the earth has to offer, and how we have to take care of her a little bit better than maybe what we do.
His message is something you can hear in his music and see in his handwritten lyrics.
It's really interesting that he didn't do a lot of editing. There's not a lot of crossing out and rewriting. It was a stream of consciousness, and he said the words just came to him. They were inside him and they just came out.
Singer, songwriter, actor, and activist, Denver was also an accomplished photographer.
Talk about a well-rounded, multi-talented person. He really encapsulated the arts in one body. And I love showing those different aspects of who artists are and how they use their art to express the world around them.
These are the two tuxedos that John wore when he hosted the Grammys in 1978 and 1979. He only received one Grammy himself in his career, and that was awarded to him posthumously. You can see it for yourself here in the glass case.
One of the tuxedos is actually a jumpsuit underneath. If that's not late 70s, I don't know what it is. Who didn't have a jumpsuit in the 70s? I had a jumpsuit in the 70s.
Another outfit you'll see here is Denver's NASA flight suit.
He trained and passed all of the tests to be a citizen in space, which is a program that he strongly supported, that idea of regular people being able to go into the space shuttle and go into space.
He was a finalist to be on the Challenger, but teacher Krista McAuliffe would be the citizen chosen to go. After the explosion, he wrote Flying for Me. Denver, a pilot himself, had always been around aviation.
Well, my father was an Air Force officer.
His father was an Air Force colonel who moved to Tulsa after his service. It was here his dad trained as a flight mechanic and met his wife. Denver died in a 1997 plane crash, but his message of hope lives on in his works.
We certainly would love to still have his voice in the world, but he left us an amazing legacy, and we're glad to be sharing it.
At the Woody Guthrie Center in downtown Tulsa, I'm Jason Grubbs for Discover Oklahoma.